The Harmonized National R&D Agenda or HNRDA composed of 5 sectors, namely National Integrated Basic Research Agenda or NIBRA, Health, Agriculture, Aquatic and Natural Resources Sectors or AANR, Industry, Energy and Emerging Technology, Disaster Risk Reduction and Climate Change Adaptation or DRRCCA. Among 5 sectors, we choose DRRCCA, which is Disaster Risk Reduction and Climate Change Adaptation. Disaster Risk Reduction and Climate Change Adaptation or DRRCCA sectors compose of 8 priority areas and programs, namely Observation and Monitoring Networks, Technology Development and Application for Monitoring, Modeling and Simulation for Improvement of Monitoring and Forecasting, Hazards, Vulnerability and Risk Assessment, Warning and Risk Communication, Technology Development of Application for Climate Change Mitigation and Adaptation, Technology Development and Application for Disaster Risk Management, and lastly, Policy Research. And now, I am able to explain about disaster risk reduction and climate change adaptation. Disaster risk reduction and climate change adaptation, this is a special concern in the ANR sectors. The focus areas include mitigation and adaptation studies, including protected and vertical agriculture, development of smart farming approach, and other climate-resilient agricultural production technologies, development of strategies, decision management tools for climate change, resilient environment, and sustainable development through landscape approach. Furthermore, there is significant overlap between the problems that disaster risk reduction and climate change adaptation seek to address. Disaster risk reduction covers non-climate related disasters such as earthquakes, but it also addresses climate-related disasters such as flood, droughts, cyclones, and storm surge. What are the priority areas and programs belong to DRRCCA? Observation and monitoring networks, it's all about climate observation like predicting high and low temperatures, rain, floods, and landslide, and so on. And through monitoring networks, they are easy to monitor the different calamities. Technology monitoring is the process of remotely monitoring and managing technology across distributed locations to make sure it's online and functional at all times. When something happens that takes this technology offline, you need to know when it happened and what caused it to go offline so you can fix it. Furthermore, it delivers enhanced customer experience with application monitoring by being able to identify and resolve issues in real time before they impact customers. Modeling and simulation for improvement of monitoring and forecasting, it's coping with climate variability and its manifestation, and the daily weather requires the availability of timely and reliable climate information as well as up-to-date information on the occurrence and severity of extreme events, possible impacts, and their duration. Hazards, vulnerability analysis (HVA), and risk assessment are systematic approach to identifying hazards or risks that are most likely to have an impact on healthcare facility and the surrounding community. Conducting a risk assessment (HVA) is also a requirement in the CMS Emergency Preparedness Rule.
So, warming and risk communication is a process of exchanging and sharing information about climate-related risks between various knowledge holders and decision makers. This program assesses members in developing and delivering services that are directed at protecting lives, livelihoods, and property from natural hazard in a cost-effective, systematic, and sustainable manner.
So,
Mitigation measures are those actions that are taken to reduce and curb greenhouse gas emissions, while adaptation measures are based on reducing vulnerability to the effects of climate change. Um, the single most effective technological solution to climate change is going to be reducing energy consumption overall, and nothing is going to do that more than making homes more energy efficient. So, UNFCCC report on the development and transfer of technologies for adaptation to climate change proposes the following definition: the application of technology in order to reduce the vulnerability or enhance the resilience of a natural or human system to the impact of climate change. So, in essence, adaptation can be understood as the process of adjusting to the current and future effect of climate change. Mitigation means making the impact of climate change less severe by preventing or reducing the emission of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. So, information and communication technologies play a significant role in a disaster prevention, mitigation, response, and recovery. Timely, predictable, and effective information is much needed by government agencies and other humanitarian actors involved in rescue operations and decision-making processes. So, the present technology innovations that help in disaster risk reduction is from the high-tech innovations such as GIS and Doppler radar to the introduction of seismic codes and earthquake early warning systems. It is clear that science and technology is making a profound differences in the world's ability to reduce death tolls in disaster and the damage to critical infrastructure. So, the application of technologies research, development, promotion of innovative approaches, and local knowledge to confront complex issues posed by hazard are important components of managing disaster risk and guiding informed decision making. Policy research is defined. The context of doing research for the policy arena is discussed. Types of policy research are presented, and characteristics of policy research studies are described. Therefore, policy research is defined as the process of conducting research on or analysis of a fundamental social problem in order to provide policymakers with pragmatic, action-oriented recommendations for alleviating the problems.